All right, y'all. So the ladies have spoken. Yes, sir. Over this weekend, we had the WNBA Women's All-Star 2025 basketball game. Shout out to the ladies. They shut it down, did a good job. For the first time, they probably had the most ratings ever for an All-Star event for WNBA. And the women let it be known how they are feeling right now. In a move of solidarity, a lot of the female, or looked like all of the female players actually, were wearing "Pay Us What You Owe Us" t-shirts. They are asking for more league revenue shares and amongst other things. So we're going to get into that and a whole lot more because the topic for today is, do the WNBA owe the players? We're going to get into that more. All right, keep it locked right here. Straight Shoota Podcast, baby. Let's go. All right, baby, welcome back. Y'all know what time it is, man. It's your boy Swift Dollars, a.k.a. 16 Pad Killer, and you tuned in to Straight Shoota Podcast on Maschine Mafia TV. And we keep it unfiltered, unapologetic, real talk, where this is a safe place for unbiased opinions based on facts, all right? So make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash up the likes, click that notification bell so you stay in the loop when your boy drop these videos, all right? So yet again, like I was saying before, the ladies are saying, pay us what you owe us. Like I said, in a move of solidarity, a lot of the women were wearing "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirts over this weekend's WNBA All-Star Weekend. Now, is the WNBA losing money? Yes, it is, because from reports, the WNBA brought in an estimated 180 to 200 million in revenue in 2024, but it still lost about 40 million after expenses. Now, those expenses include player salaries, coaches' travel, venue costs, TV production, and front office operations, right? So that's a lot of paper now. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it did generate money, but a $40 million loss after they done paid everybody and they ain't making no money? Now, I know, the truth is hard to hear.
Just don't want to
and
believe
I'm
it
all
too.
about equality.
You don't want to believe
Right?
it.
I'm all about equality. But we're going to keep going with this. But logically, I'm trying to figure out how much more do they owe them? Because, if they're asking for what the WNBA is getting now, that's just crazy. Now, where the WNBA money comes from, let's get to that. Now, that money comes from media rights, such as ESPN, CBS, and others that pay to broadcast the games. Now, you got sponsorships. We got Nike, Google, AT&T, others that pay for jersey deals and exposure, when they put the name on the court or, the name on the jersey or something like that, just to let people know that they're supporting and endorsing the team, That's how it works. Okay, tickets, merchandise, game attendance varies, jersey sales have spiked in recent times. Now, the people don't want to give it up to her, but let's just be real. Caitlin Clark brought the eyes, as well as Angel Reese, but, I'm just going to go by the masses. Public opinion is going to say Caitlin Clark. Man, if you want to say Angel Reese, cool, but I'm not going to give or get no pushback either way, because whoever you pick is whoever you pick. I feel like either one of them is a solid pick. But all right, let's keep it moving a little bit further. And expenses fees, like new teams, like the Bay Area franchise, paid $50 million to join. So you done pay $50 million to have a new team, the Bay Area franchise. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the name of the team is, but you paid $50 million to get in the league, and you already operating at a loss. So now, yet again, I'm all for equality.
That's stupid,
but
guys.
A business can't stay open if it keeps operating at a loss. Now, I've heard stories where even Kobe Bryant and others, they have said allegedly have donated money to pay players and with salaries, or just to help the league keep afloat, because don't get me wrong, people do support it, but over the years in its existence, outside of the elite players playing on the all-star team for the women, we really weren't hearing about it, or it really wasn't as exciting until it is now. Now we got those older players being coaches in college basketball and excelling and being great coaches. Shout out to them, the Dawn Staleys and the others. The list goes on and on. But let's just be real. I would say over the past 4 to 5 years, this has been the biggest spike in women's basketball, and I'm a fan. I love it too, but I'm just saying we got to be realistic here. Now, let's keep this thing rolling. All right, now, where the WNBA money goes. Player salaries. You got a max salary is around $250,000. Total league payroll is under $25 million. Okay, now I get it. Now, if you're saying maybe they could bump that up a little bit, yeah, I get it, but let's just be real here. Ain't nobody going to be getting no $10 million a year deal in the WNBA. Not at this point in time. Now, maybe as the league grows and progresses and eventually the women's teams can get their own arenas to where they ain't shared and they can add more games to where it's no conflicts and this and that, and it's making more money, possibly. But I just can't see it right now. I mean, I just can't see it. I really can't. And, you know.
Too bad.
If you're mad at me, you know, I mean, we're going to keep this thing going. I'm breaking down the stats, man. You can't get mad at me. I'm just breaking down the stats, like I said. So then you got traveling large, charter flights, being phased in cost. That's $25 million over 2 years. So, you know, they book deals with these hotels and stuff like that to where when they in and out of town to play games, they might have a deal with the Sheridan, or this one with the DoubleTree, or this one with the Trump Towers, or this one with the Hyatt. All that stuff costs money, man. Like, people just think just because you in front of the TV or in front of this camera right here on YouTube that you rich. No, man, people is on this thing. It's people doing DoorDash. It's people hustling to make a living. I work. I'm hustling. I got my own studio. I bust moves. I'm outside daily trying to get this paper. So I understand. And I ain't trying to operate at no loss. Any boss or any management knows that. That's a no-no. Can't do that. Okay, so then the arena leases. Most teams rent space in the NBA or college venues. Like I just said, a lot of these WNBA teams don't even have their own arena because the attendance isn't there for them to have that. Or if they did get that, it would be a smaller arena. You understand? So you're competing with you're competing with the NBA, and this is the WNBA. That's a hard thing to do. It is what it is. You get what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So I'm gonna do one last breakdown on the finances. Okay. Now, one other thing. Who covers the WNBA losses? Okay, the WNBA contributes 10 to 15 million per year to league operations, but that's not enough to cover the gap. The rest is picked up by individual team owners, private investors. Most teams operate at a loss, but owners stay in with hopes of long-term growth and raising franchise value. So a lot of these owners, you know, this thing like Dow Jones to them. This is just, you know, for them to drink their cognac and smoke cigars and say, yeah, man, I got a women's team too. You know what I'm saying? So when this thing take off, you know, I already got financial wealth involved in stock, and they just gonna boom and they gonna rock with it like that. What y'all think? Put it in the comments, man. Am I making sense over here, or is this going over y'all head? Maybe it's because I ain't been lighting it up with the sound effects. Maybe y'all asleep, but I'm trying to wake y'all up on game here, right? Okay, so now finally, the WNBA finances, right? League revenue, 180 to 200 million. These were the estimates for last year. League expenses, 220 to 240 million. The annual loss, 40 million. NBA contribution, 10 to 15 million. That means the money that NBA gave them to help them continue to operate. Player revenue share is 9 to 10%. Excuse me. That might be, well, yeah, say 9 to 10%. And then NBA share NBA player share is 50% for comparison. So basically, you know, I'm based off of the information. It sounds like what they're asking for is more revenue share. Now, I'm sure, like I said, I want to give the ladies the benefit of the doubt. I'm all for equality. I'm all for equality, 100%. I believe everybody should be compensated fairly based on their value and based on the value of the company. So I'm almost more than certain and sure that a lot of these ladies aren't expecting to get $5 million, $10 million deals where they're getting that annually through playing women's sports. But for them to get more annual league share, that's fair. Now, I'm not mad at them for fighting for that. So we're going to see how all this CBA stuff go. I'm not a ESPN analyst or expert with that. So for that, I got a little thing from the WNBA analyst, Kendra Andrews. I'm going to play a little clip from NBA Today where she breaks all this down in a more detailed way than I could do it, and then I'm going to wrap this thing up, all right? So y'all keep it locked real quick.
Our WNBA reporter Kendra Andrews was in the building, and Kendra, we see the players wearing those "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirts during warm-ups. We hear the chants from the crowd. Can you just shed some light on how it was the players came to this unified decision that they wanted to wear these T-shirts and make that statement?
Yeah, Malika, these shirts had been in the works for about a week leading up to Saturday night's game. It was really spearheaded by the leaders, the player leaders of the PA. As you heard Kelsey Plum say, they wanted to make a collected, united statement, and they felt they don't have to use words to do that. We know that in 2020, they wore shirts that supported the Black Lives Matter movement. They've also worn shirts that supported Brittany Griner when she was being detained overseas. So they knew that shirts would be a powerful and useful way to get their messaging across. Now, there was a players only meeting on Saturday morning, very early, around 8 a.m. So a couple people didn't quite make it down. We all know how big of a party All-Star Weekend was, but the meeting was just to get on the same page, to make sure everyone felt comfortable wearing those shirts and that everyone was ready to go out and make this statement, take the message, the conversations that they've been having behind closed doors for the last couple months and bring them to the national forefront. As you said, Malika, this was such a huge All-Star weekend. So many eyes were on this weekend. They knew that they could really get their point across here.
Yeah, and you mentioned that not every player was represented. Not every player was able to attend that early morning meeting. I was told that representatives from the Players Association made sure to chat with players ahead of this game so that everyone could get on the same page. We know that All-Star weekend, it is as much about the party as what's happening on the floor as it is about meetings that are able to happen during that span. Can you just update us, Kendra, where do things stand in these CBA negotiations and conversations?
Yeah, it seems like they're at a little bit of a standstill. The part that is really holding everything up is the topic of increased salary, and what the players are saying is getting a bigger piece of the pie when it comes to revenue shares. That is what Nafisa Collier told me is their non-negotiable. It's the area that they're not budging on. And it's something that the players were very disappointed the league didn't address as much in that meeting that they had on Thursday in Indy with over 40 players attending that. So players looked at that, and Brianna Strait even said it was a missed opportunity because we didn't get much progress on this area. Now moving forward, Malika, it's unclear if there's going to be another in-person meeting, certainly not one of that magnitude with 40 players going. But Nneka Ogwumike, the union president, said, look, we've seen the growth in the league, and as it stands, the current salary system isn't paying us what we are owed, which was, of course, the messaging on those shirts. Nneka said we want to be able to have that fair share moving forward, especially as we see all of the investment going on, and we want to be able to have our salaries reflected in the structure that makes sense to us.
Yeah.
All right, now, I get all that, right? Now, all that sounds good, all that sounds dandy. But what about the past almost 25, 30 years since the WNBA has been in existence? The losses these owners have taken. Now, don't get me wrong. The past 2-3 years have been very, very good for women's basketball, and things are on the uprise. As it would look, things are looking good. But that doesn't wipe away all the losses these owners have taken. They still haven't made a profit yet, and you're asking for a bigger piece of the cut already. I don't know about that or how that should really go. I mean, I'm saying I believe that they do deserve something, but we need a little bit more details about what they're asking for because, this is kind of crazy because to be paying you more money and still operating at a loss, I don't think that's a good business move. But what you say, what y'all say, y'all tell me. Put it in the comments. Tell me your thoughts. What do they deserve? Do they deserve a pay raise? Do they deserve the same exact contract as an NBA player? Y'all tell me, man. You know what I'm saying? Put it in the comments. I done share my thoughts. I want to hear yours, all right? But make sure y'all keep it locked. This is Straight Shoota Podcast, a safe place for unbiased opinions based on facts, where we give it to you straight with no chaser, all right? And I'm your host, Swift Dallas, a.k.a. 16 Pad Killer. Straight Shoota Podcast, baby. We out. Gone.